Hello, everyone. Welcome to this contest functionary training. I am Leena Jo. I am the Chief Judge for District 3 this year. Along with me, I have Julie Miller and Harsha Bipin, who are contest management chairs for District 3 this year. And we have put together a series of functionary trainings because we want to enable and support our District 3 members to succeed in whichever contest functionary role you would like to volunteer this year. So we've already done a training for the chief judge's role, for the contest judge's role, and today this training is going to be for the contest timer role. We also have a training for sergeant at arms and another one for the ballot counter role. So whichever role you would like to volunteer this year, please feel free to take a look at the corresponding recording. It will have a lot of inputs regarding the tips, the tricks, and mainly the resources that we have curated and put together for you so that will help you prepare easily for your role. And another point to note is this training that we are having today is to how to facilitate an online contest. So this year in District 3, we are going to be having the area contest in the online format. And if any of the clubs are also having their contest in the online format, this training would be helpful for you. For the division and district contest, given that we're going to be doing that in the hybrid format this year in District 3, we're going to be having a separate set of trainings for that because the nuances and the logistics are going to be different for a hybrid contest. So today's training is primarily for an online contest. With that, I would like to hand the presentation to Julie Miller, who's going to take us through the role of a contest timer. Over to you, Julie.
Thank you, Leena. And we are going to start the timing portion by going to the District 3 website so everyone is very familiar on how to access the resources for the role of timer and any of the other facilitator roles. We're going to go to our member resource tab and scroll down to contest. And once we're at the contest portion of the website, we're going to scroll down through the contest calendar all the way down to our resource section. And there's a lot of information for you to refer back to should you have any questions about the contest. But right now, we're going to go to the current contest resources section. And you'll see we have history from the other, from 2 prior years, but we want this year's current resources. So it's 2023, 2024, the green tab. So let's go in here, and all the facilitator roles or functionary roles are listed here. And the timer is the purpose of today's discussion. So we're going to pop into the timer section and focus on the timer duties at area contest. So I'm going to select this, but I want you to spend a moment looking at these different files. You are going to need to go to this file to get your backgrounds. Each timer for any contest should have 4 contest backgrounds on their Zoom, loaded to Zoom. There's going to be the green, the yellow, and the red, and I'll show them on my screen in a moment. And then the house red, and the house red is what you see on Leena's and Harsha's screen as well as mine. It's a white background with the banner that is in red maroon. So that is the house red banner. So let's go to the timer's duties at area contest, and you will find that everything is outlined here. And this is what we are going to review today. I have another copy made, so I will use that for this discussion. Before we go any further, though, I'd like to run through the timing lights, because these are, again, what you want to have loaded to your system. And again, the background you see is what we're calling the, it's going to be our standard. So this is what should be shown if there is no timing going on. So this is going to be our house red. And let's look at the other three colors that we've got here. Green. So this is what you're going to see on the screen. And let me just cover myself so you can see it very clearly. Green background, big green letters for those that, maybe a bit hearing impaired. This is something that will assist. Yellow, bright yellow, and the word yellow, and the same with red. So these are the timing lights that must be used for the contests. And so let me get out of here and share again for a moment. Oops, I'm going to have to change my screen. I don't want y'all to think that it's stop time up. Where'd it go? Let me just go back real quick. Fix that. I apologize. Just go back to my house color. Thank you. I apologize for that error. So we're going to keep moving along here, and I'm going to share my screen again and pull up the duties and responsibilities that we're going to go over in a little more detail. And again, we've gone over the house red and the three different colors that have already been loaded. We want to make sure you all have a timing device, whether it's your phone or something else, a stopwatch. Just make sure that it is dedicated to timing. And the chief judge is going to assign the two timers a role, either timer 1 or timer 2. So timer 1, it's going to be important because you're the timer that's backgrounds will be shown throughout the contest. And the over here next, you're going to have to download your timing sheets. And this is where you'll list the all of the contestants when the chief judge gives the speaking order, and this is where you record their time. So this is the sheet that will be used, and it's also found in our resource section. And just make sure that you have this and turn it in when called upon to do so. But what I'm going to do right now is close that because we don't really need that. And I'm going to go back to my form here. And an audible timer, we've added this because we have some members that are vision impaired, and we need to be able to allow them to know what the times are. If they're unable to see those lights, we are asking that everyone come prepared with some type of audible timer. So something that is going to allow the speaker to hear when a light is turning to green, yellow, and red. I have a cup and a spoon right now, and we're going to work on having a really good example. I don't know if you can hear this, but we have to make sure that whatever the audible timing device is, that it is something that is recognized by the speaker. One item I want to also mention is the timers must have their cameras on, but we need to make sure that the only thing that is being shown is the background. So we want to make sure that the camera function is disabled so we're not seeing the timer themselves. So make sure that you have a sticky tab or something, sticky piece of paper with tape, something, a small piece of fabric, a washcloth, a camera cover, something that will cover that video so we don't see the person, we see the timing lights so we can see the cycle. So again, very, very important. So we've gone through things to do before the contest, and we jumped ahead a little bit on making sure that the timer camera is on, but again, covered. Remember, when you start, you're going to be defaulted to the house red, which we have, all of us are using right now. And all timers, when you're in the briefing room with the judges and other contestants, or not contestants, but other functionary roles, both timers are going to have the opportunity at that time to run through the light cycles to ensure that they're working and that they can be seen by everyone. When it comes time for the actual contest, timer 1 is the main timer, and timer 1's video is what will be shown throughout the meeting. Timer 2 will be available in case there's any technical difficulties. And whether you're timer 1 or timer 2, both of you will need to fill out that sheet that we looked at a little bit earlier. And it's included again in the resources. One thing that is really, really important is in speaking or in speeches, there's nonverbal communication, and often a speech will start not with the spoken word. It could be a gesture or a meaningful pause. So you really need to pay attention. Make sure that your eyes are focused on that speaker when they begin their speech, because again, the first part of their beginning of their speech may be them reaching out to the audience with their hand and not uttering a word. You want to make sure that you capture that first gesture. And again, that's why we have 2 timers, just to make sure that we have an accurate timing of this contestant's speech. Once a speaker is completed with their speech, the contest chair will ask for 1 minute of silence between the contestants. And this will allow the judges an opportunity to mark their ballots. So you will display the green background for the contest chair when the 1 minute is up. Pretty self-explanatory. And if a contestant has technical difficulties, stops their speech, or just has an issue, pause the timer clock immediately. And then if they're able to start up and resume their speech, the contestant and the timer clock will start from where they stopped. If it just can't happen, if they're unable to join the contest, then just write their speech time to the point where the clock stopped when you turned it off. We have 2 contests this year, 2 fun contests, the international and evaluation. International, it's going to be the same as it always has been, a speech between 5 and 7 minutes, and the timing lights will go at 5 minutes green, 6 minutes yellow, and 7 minutes red. And then you just keep it at red until they're done speaking. And again, you're not going to make any sounds. You're going to be muted. You just keep that light on until they're done speaking, and then you record the time. For the evaluation portion of the contest, the timings will be much shorter, just like in club meetings when our evaluations are 2 to 3 minutes. This is the same thing. You'll show the green light at 2, yellow light at 2.5, and at red 3 minutes, and just keep it there. Don't worry about when they're going to finish. Just keep that light on until they're done speaking. If there's an issue with the timing lights, if there's some type of failure, some issue, the contestants will receive an additional 30-second grace period. So again, just keep the timing like you normally do. And then if there's an issue, the chief judge will work with everyone on getting that resolved. But again, it'll be a 30-second grace period. You're going to log on that tally sheet the speech times. If someone goes over their time, or maybe if they don't even make their time, if they come under, just circle those times and turn those sheets into the chief judge during the ballot collection. Now, should there be an error when the contests are over, the ballots are tabulated, and a winner is being announced, if there is a known disqualification for time and it is announced as a winner, it is your responsibility as a timer functionary to immediately state, point of order, Madam or Mr. Contest Chair, please review the speech times before continuing with the announcement. So this will allow the contest chair an opportunity to review the error. You can't say this later. You've got to say it right away, because once all of the winners have been announced, it will be too late to make any corrections. So this is a summary of the functionary role of timer. And we hope that this information has been useful. And are there any questions? I will turn it back over to Lena.
Thank you, Julie. Just wanted to reiterate what Julie said. It's very important for the timers to circle in their timing sheet if there is any contestant who is either speaking within the minimum or lesser than the minimum amount of time required, or whether they're going over the maximum time. So the table that Julie showed us, it has several columns. You have a minimum time, then you have the green, yellow, and red, and you have the maximum time. So if any speaker is lesser than the minimum or more than the maximum, that is where the disqualification because of time happens. So it's very important as a timer that you circle that timing wherever there is a disqualification so that the chief judge knows it, and we do not include that person in the list of winners, even though the judges might have that person in a higher ranking order. So that is a very important role as a timer. So we hope you continue seeing all the other functionary recordings as well, functionary training recordings. And thank you for volunteering as a contest functionary this year.